give them a round of applause. And I'm going to just hand the mic over to them, and they can just kind of talk about Zero Trust and what's happening today.
John, you can talk about what he's here the man.
All right, so here you go, John. It's all yours.
So this is a discussion that we had till 11:30 last night at the Marriott Marquis. So you should have been around then, but we didn't have drinks. So
You didn't.
I didn't.
I did.
Okay. Well, I had an 8:30 a.m. I'm going to come. Let's go back so that we don't get feedback. I had an 8:30 a.m. interview, so that's hard on RSA week. Is to get
Navy trained me, so
I know the Navy trained me. Yeah. So those of you who don't know Chase, he was a chief petty officer, which actually is the name. We nicknamed our cat Chief Petty Officer because she needs petting so much. So there you go. I think of you every time. He was a chief petty officer in the Navy, doing comms for Special Forces, because I have some friends who used to work with him, and they said he did some badass stuff in the day, so don't mess with him. And I met him in 2012 when he just got out of the Navy, and I was really impressed with him. And there was an opportunity for a speaking slot at Forrester because somebody canceled, and I convinced his bosses that he should get it, and he knocked it out of the park. And we've been friends ever since then. And I asked Forrester to make him the lead analyst on Zero Trust when I left. And so, when was that? 2016. So we have a long history. And then he even gave my son his first job in cybersecurity. So it's very, we're like, I never had a brother before. So this is kind of like having my own brother. So let's talk about Zero Trust, right? Because you see it a buzzword. If you look on LinkedIn, right now I'm in the middle of a fight with Microsoft. How come you aren't chiming in?
waiting for it. I let it stew a little.
Yeah, okay. So Microsoft has got some revisionist history. I called them out on it. And then a whole bunch of people have chimed in on my side. Like, even somebody from Jericho Forum who was involved, because this guy tried to say that Jericho Forum created it, and he said, we never even got halfway there. So anyway, there's a little battle on the soul of Zero Trust, but we've already won, right, Chase? And so the big thing, and then I'll let Chase go into some things, but I just kind of want to make a big semi-announcement, is that we have reached tentative agreement with the Cloud Security Alliance that the NSTAC report that we both contributed to, if you're not familiar with the NSTAC, it's the President's National Security Telecommunications Advisory Council. We were both involved in the Zero Trust and Trusted Identity Subcommittee. The government is not good at giving pithy names to things, but we came out with a report that we've written for President Biden. DISA, NIST, CSA, NSA, CIA, FBI, Air Force, all those people were involved, plus me, Chase, other people from the private sector. We all came together with a synthesized document that says, here's what Zero Trust is. So CSA has said, we're not going to do any research in our new program on what Zero Trust is. We're going to consider that authoritative. So I would encourage you to go and look at that document. That is authoritative on what Zero Trust is. If you hear anything outside of that, just ignore it, okay? Because that's some vendor trying to BS you. So there's a lot of vendor BS. Chase and I are fighting it. We're both, I'm an adopted Texan. He's a real Texan, even though he lives in Virginia. But there's an old saying, don't mess with Texas. And that's true about Zero Trust. So we're excited to be here at RSA, excited to see Zero Trust everywhere, even for people who get it wrong. Somebody had a Zero Trust lunchbox available to protect your lunch. When I started this, I gave the first Zero Trust speech in the fall of 2008, and I never thought that anything like this would happen. So it's very gratifying. So